It's story time, and we're going to talk about our marriage proposal, which you all have been waiting for. This is the video. I proposed to Char 48 hours after meeting her. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Char with a C.
And I'm Shar with an S.
And we're not here to sell you something.
We're here to share you something. So be sure to subscribe below, ring the bell, be sure to like, and make sure you watch all the way to the end. So if you go back to our other videos, you can look at how we met, our second date, and this is our third date, and also our proposal. And this is now Easter Day when Char actually proposed. So on this date, we actually went to church together, and Char had asked me, well, we talked till probably 2 or 3 in the morning. So he asked me that morning if I wanted to go to church with him the next day. And of course I said yes. And he picked me up. Probably the first time I was ever there early. And we went together. And then after church, of course, church lasted probably till 2 or 3 p.m.
Long service.
Right. It was all black church. So it lasted a long time. And then he dropped me off, and I just hung out that day by myself. And then later, probably around 5 o'clock, just a little bit after, it seems like after he dropped me off, a couple of hours, he asked me if he could come back over, and he wanted to discuss something with me and hang out or whatever. And I said, sure, you can come back and hang out with me. And he then came over a little bit later. Okay, so Char comes over. It's about 5:30 p.m. in the evening.
Later on that day.
Yeah, and so he comes in and he looks kind of not really excited, but he said, I need to talk to you about something. And he has a bunch of pictures in his hand, and I ask him, are those pictures? He also has a gift basket because it's Easter. Didn't look like that. And he also,
it's my prop, y'all. Thumbs up on that.
And he also had a card. And that's the actual card he had.
I'll zoom in here. Oh,
which is 20. It was nothing special, so put it down. But anyway, 28 years ago, and in his hand he had a bunch of pictures, and I asked him what were those pictures he had. It was actually pictures of his ex-wife. They were separated at that point, but I said, well, why are you bringing them here? Why are you giving them to me? He said, because I want you to know that these were in my past, and you're in my future, and I want you to have them. And I said, well, what do you want me to do with them? He said, you can do with them with whatever you want. I said, well, what if you want to look at them in the future? He said, well, I'm not going to want to. And I said, okay, but anyway, I kept those pictures probably for about 10 years because I thought, well, he might want to look at them at some point, but he never did.
So here's what I was thinking 48 hours after meeting Char. I was feeling pretty confident about me spending the rest of my life with Char. So I was feeling like I could do it. Did you think you could spend your life with me?
I only felt that because I felt that's what God was telling me, that you were supposed to be my husband. So
the Lord gives the girl confidence. So I proposed to Char because I thought to myself, if I don't propose to her, somebody else will. And I said, I said, I ain't gonna lose my squeeze. So I said, I ain't gonna lose my shawty. I said, I didn't want that to happen to me. Because I know a lot of brothers probably want to have her. Because a lot of the, you go to church and you don't know who's looking at your girl. So I said, I'm gonna stay clean. So I asked Char to marry me. I didn't think about the fact that I had only spent 48 hours with Char since I had first met her. At that time, I felt like I was wasting time by not spending all my time with Char. So I made the decision to propose to Char, 2 days after we met. The way I feel, let me show you something. Love isn't blind if you know where you're going. Hey, where are you? where are you, Char? I need you, baby. Come.
Okay.
Hey, where are you? Oh, there you are. See, love's not blind.
Now here comes the best part. So after Charles
What
gave me
best
the
part?
pictures,
What you talking about?
I'm
Best part?
still
What's going
talking
on?
about the proposal when you
Oh.
gave me the pictures, and then you got down. You gave me the Easter basket.
First, I got down on one knee.
You got
what
down
you said.
on one knee.
Well, you mean kind of like this right here? Got down on one knee.
Yeah. So you got down on one knee, and then you gave me the Easter basket.
Oh, you mean like this basket?
Yeah, and the card.
Oh, like that card.
Yeah, and then you asked me to marry you.
Will you marry me?
Yeah, and then I grabbed your face and I said, if I was in a car accident and was disabled and in a wheelchair, would you still love me?
Of course I would. Of course. What kind of question is that? Of course
said,
I
are you
would.
sure?
I said, yeah. I said, of course I am.
And I said, okay, I'll marry you.
You just drew. Can I get a kiss?
And then we kissed.
And that is how I did it. I missed it smooth. So at this point, Char and I, we decided to come up with our life motto. And that life motto was, it's us against the world. And what we meant by that was, hey, if everybody's going to make things happen, it's going to be us watching after each other, taking care of each other, making sure that I have her back, she has my back. And we don't know who else in the world's going to have our back, but we know we can have each other's back. So
Right.
we decided that's the life motto.
And the other thing is, in saying that it was us against the world, we knew that if there was any in-laws or outlaws that had anything against us being together or whatever, that it wasn't going to matter.
We weren't going to let their opinion sway us.
Right. So, and that was our motto, and that's still our motto, and that is what has made our unity and our team and our partnership work for over 27 years.
So the two become one, and then make one decision.
Right.
So, we kissed, and, Char's heel, it didn't like pop, like how people kiss and then the heel of the girl pops and goes back up
In the movies.
in the movies. That didn't happen. But we did feel very happy about each other, and I certainly felt like I found my soulmate while living on this earth. And so we were very excited to start our journey together. We decided to open up a joint checking account and start saving for the future.
Yeah, and which is kind of strange because I don't think most couples that just meet decide to open up a joint checking account, but because we knew that we, I can't say that I loved Charles even then, because we just met, but I knew that he was supposed to be my husband. I knew I liked him a lot.
She could learn to love him.
Yeah, and I did.
She could learn to love him. That's the key.
And I did. It was just a little bit later. I was deeply in love with him, but I didn't want to say right at that very moment, 48 hours later, that yeah, I love you. But we did open a checking account, and it was to start planning for our future, and it was a very exciting time to during that time to just be together and to start planning everything. So here's a life lesson to learn. If you have been praying diligently for a husband, a wife, spouse, mate, whatever, you're dating, single, what you need to learn, and what I learned, is you have to be open to what God has for you. You might have what you need, or think you know what you need. Wait.
Well, yeah, everybody thinks they know what they need, but the thing is, you need to ask God, hey, God, is this person for me? Because if you don't, then, you know, you might get something that you didn't want. Like our pastor used to say, if you want to get married, I'll take you downtown and find somebody to marry you.
Right.
So you need to be able to be okay with the gift that God gave to you. Because if you don't, then, hey, what's going to happen is you're going to get some gift that might have some toxic chemicals inside it, or something that can harm you. So, and sometimes the gifts that God gives you, they don't always come in the box you think or that you might perceive, but you can still, sometimes, you know, the gifts you have are like diamonds in the rough. You know, you have to wait until that thing kind of flourished and that thing kind of changed or metamorphosized like a caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly.
Exactly.
So to say, you know, I was like that. I was like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah. And so the package that God gives you, it might not be what you envisioned. It might not be what you felt like you wanted, but he gave you what you needed. For example, when I met Char, he was only 21. I was 28 at the time. And he, you know, had a job, but he didn't have much more than that.
A low-paying job.
Yeah, in a low-paying job. I had a low-paying job too. I was just a little bit over broke, more broke than him. I mean, had a little bit more.
I thought her $15 an hour was more than my $7.50. I thought she was rich.
So I wasn't even making that.
A rich girl.
But nevertheless, the lesson learned is, if you're not open to what God has for you, because he knows what you need more so than what you want, then you might miss the very blessing that he has for you that might be wrapped up in a different package and put in a different box with a different type of bow. So the lesson learned is to be open. If you are seriously and you want a spouse and a life mate, then
soulmate,
be open to what God has versus what you feel you want.
And this is the life lesson to grow on. So, if you liked our 48-hour marriage proposal story time video, please do me a favor. Click below to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified, because you don't want to miss more of our videos about our life. Hey, you gotta see them, everybody. We have a lot more that we want to share, so please be a part of the Love Reconciled family. Click below to subscribe, because you don't want to miss one.
And don't forget to make comments as well.
Thank you so much for watching. And remember, love God more than anything.
And you'll do right by everything.
We love you.
See you next
time.